All right, let's go. Don't even know how excited I am.
I think I'm just gonna go on a limb and say that this is you're probably the happiest person on the planet Earth at this point.
I don't know about that, dude, if I'm the happiest person or not, but I was literally 5 minutes away from having my heart burst today, dude.
I don't
I'm
even,
not even lying. I'm not
dude.
even lying. At one point, my pulse was like 160 or something.
Okay, so I understand that there was this whole the situation with the remontada and all that stuff. But after that first goal went in, I think that should have even ignore the first goal, right? So even after the first half being 0-0, I thought that yeah, there was no way Madrid has anything to come back with 4 goals in there. Yeah.
Bro, I have honestly seen this because I support this team in the Champions League because Arsenal never plays there. I have seen this team make insane comebacks from absolutely unbelievable positions, man. It's just like until that guy blew that whistle, even in the 94th minute, I'm like, fuck, okay, don't score anything. And again, you
Nah,
don't know, right? Like, you don't know. It's at the Bernabeu. You don't know
no,
what
I
will
know.
happen.
I know everything about Bernabeu. That's our basically training ground.
It's Champions League Real Madrid, dude. That's all I'm going to say. How much ever you deny it, whatever you say, there is some weird thing about that club in that competition, and I am not. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was shit. I am so tired right now because I've been so worked up all day. But my God, dude, what a masterclass. What an absolute masterclass of coaching that was from Mikel Arteta.
Outclassed Carlo Ancelotti in every single the setup of the game, whether
Oh
it's
my God.
dealing with the set pieces, whether the control of the midfield or the low block whenever there are set pieces, and the super ultra attacking mode when
I
Madrid went into. It was beautiful to watch. Yeah,
I loved the fact that they have three extremely pacey frontline players and they had to retort to crossing the ball into the box for absolutely nobody. It
and
was just magic, dude.
it wasn't like Arsenal was parking the bus. The Arsenal was
No, just
only
low
parking the
block.
bus when no, even with that low block was happening only when they got like a set piece corner or a
Yeah,
free
yeah,
kick
yeah.
nearby. It was not like okay, like Arsenal just put the everybody like 8 or 9 bodies inside the box or something like
No,
that.
we
It
did
wasn't like
not.
that throughout the game. Yeah.
No, it is just strategically cutting off the center of the field so that you don't have anyone run from behind you and just give access only to the wings. And they just were crossing because they had to cross and they had no other option. And it was
And guess who is at the end
pure
of the
magic.
crosses, by the way?
Mbappe, he has no clue
Nobody.
where the ball. He has no clue where the ball is. He's not trying to get the ball for anything.
I do not remember a single Madrid player touching any of those crosses
No,
at
not
all.
one. Not
None of
one.
them. Yeah.
Or maybe there was one, the one that Mbappe hit with the shoulder, which went in and he was completely offside. No,
Right.
that
I
probably was
mean,
the only one I think I
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
But dude, we
And the
looked so
penalty shot.
comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. He made a meal of it, and
Of course. Yeah.
I have a statement to make. If you give me some time, you
Let's do
give me
this.
5 minutes, I have one entire sheet of one-liners I've written down just for this.
Last time you had a
So
one liner saying that bend it like Declan. Now
yeah,
it's
now
an
I have
essay,
an
is it?
entire paper just with like 20 one-liners here. So there's so many things I want to talk about this game, but I'll tell you in no categorical order. I'll read this out, okay? Chelsea, City, Bayern, PSG, Atletico Madrid. They've all tried to beat Real Madrid over two legs and they have failed. The one team that did it, the badge I'm wearing, bro. It's the badge I'm wearing. What an absolute. We slaughtered them over two legs.
There's no denying
No,
that.
no, no Arsenal. Okay, even Arsenal fans who thought, okay, we could potentially do something, would have thought that we would have gone past them, maybe like just scrape through over two legs. No one on earth, 8 billion people on earth, not one person would have thought about 5-1 for sure. And if anyone
Yeah.
says they thought 5-1, they're lying
Yeah.
or they're extremely delusional.
Not 5-1 or not even like this convincing a
Yeah,
one sided
definitely not
two like
convinced.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I also have to take this. I want to use this platform to apologize to Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Martinelli, dude. They are fucking gods.
No, I mean I would give that to Martinelli, not the Odegaard. Not
Odegaard
Odegaard.
still
Yeah.
had a decent game, dude. He ran his socks off, and I will just give him
Sure.
any flowers he wants today because that guy literally wore the badge on his sleeves and ran. He ran like a dog. I don't care what anyone says. He also almost scored a goal towards the end of the game. He was the pre-assist to Saka's goal. I take nothing away. I apologize for anything I said about both of them.
The
Especially
first
Martinelli,
goal
like you said.
Yeah.
Especially Martinelli, like you said, my God, you do all that step over and dance you want in all your life, man. I'll not say anything anymore. Next one to get flowers from me, Urian Timber. What a special player, dude. Dude goes through ACL. Literally everyone else comes back and has a shit season. This guy is just getting better every single game. How does he do it? You keep Vinicius in your pocket for 180 minutes plus. That is not normal, dude. I don't think in the world today there is a left back or there is a full back that is better on one-on-one situations than Urian Timber. Honestly, I don't think so. If I'd be hard pressed to find one right now, man. I don't know
He
who
had
else.
Vinicius had one successful dribble. He attempted four. He had just one.
He had like Timber had him covered day in, day out, man. This could have gone on for another 3 days. That he would have done
Yeah.
nothing. Would have done nothing.
That one is basically very misleading. That one goal Real Madrid scored. They
I
could have
think
played two
we
more legs. Yeah, they
nothing would
wouldn't
have
have
happened. Yeah.
scored another any one goal. Yeah.
And this, even that one goal that they got, I know we gifted it to them and it was Saliba's mistake, but I questioned David Raya's positioning for it. Like you come back to the goal, you don't leave it open because you
Sure.
pass the ball, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's fine. I love the fact that we gave them the goal and then Vinicius was all like, "Oh, I'm the man, I'm the man." You are not anything, dude. You are just nothing. I will come back 10 times stronger. You weren't even like next today, or even the previous game for that matter. He utter flop, dude. Utter flop. He was over the two legs.
I'm loving
Um,
this. Yeah.
so Timber goes home with a Brazilian Barbie that he can give to his child. I am assuming he has a child. I don't know, but oh my God. I'll keep Saka for the end, but I also want to call out MLS, man. Dude
Yeah.
belongs on the big stage, man. He
Yeah.
belongs on that big stage. He looks so comfortable against Real Madrid today. He bossed Bellingham. I don't think Valverde could do anything. There was this one point in the game where we were under pressure because they were attacking us and we were just passing around in the defense. But this guy got the ball, just took it from defense to midfield and then passed it, I think, to Rice or someone. Absolutely brilliant, man. Oh
Yeah.
my God, for the level of maturity that that boy shows at 18.
Yeah. He's just 18.
He's just 18. And to not let the Bernabeu crowd affect you, not let the occasion get the better of you, mad, dude. Mad. Absolute mad. So that's why even though Partey got a yellow card and he'll miss the next match, I
Hmm.
am hoping that can play Tierney or I hope
Fair
Calafiori
enough.
comes back so MLS can play midfield because then I don't think I'd be too worried. Lastly, Saka, my star boy. Shit decision with that Penenka. But my God, what a chip. What elite confidence to be like, fuck you, I will do it again. I will dunk the ball
Yeah.
over you
Yeah.
in the most pressured of games.
I think you need to give credit to Merino, Odegaard
I will come to
throughout that.
Merino. Yeah, I
Yeah.
will come to Merino in a second. But no one, dude, I'm telling this on this forum, right? Like, no one better compare him to that fucking Cole Palmer, this Phil Foden, bloody bowl cut fucker. Useless. And there was one point someone compared him to Garnacho, man. Like, I was like, whatever, dude. I was like, whatever. I mean, delusions are a different level here.
I mean, Garnacho did show promise over the like one season. That's pretty much it. I think
Yeah, dude,
he's
like,
gone. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, I go back to the same thing, dude. If promise over one season means you're a great player, then Michu is one of the greatest strikers in the world. I am
Sure.
going to
Yeah.
say that. Like he had like half a great season at Swansea, and that's it. Talking about Merino, dude, silently does the dirty work. Gave two amazing assists today.
Beautiful.
Smart as shit. It was just beautiful, man. It
You know,
was just very nice.
did you notice that both Rudiger and Asensio they had nobody to mark, by the way, because Merino never ever went
Stood in
between
one
them.
place, yeah.
He was in the midfield completely, and when he actually tried to make something happen, they just didn't even know how to deal with this guy. This was beautifully done. This was proper false nine gameplay that was
Proper.
implemented. Arteta coached the hell out of this team, especially
Absolutely mind
Merino's
blowing.
role. Yeah,
Absolutely mind blowing. Rudiger channeled his inner Van Dijk today. Didn't play football. He was bloody playing
he
WWE
was
and
playing
tossing
WWE.
people.
Yeah,
I think he got too carried away with all those memes that were showing up, where they were showing Real Madrid as one wrestler and Arsenal as another wrestler, and how um, Real Madrid pinned them. I think he just got carried away with that. He forgot which sport he's
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
But did you also notice without this fucking PGMOL how beautiful life is? Have you noticed how good the game is without this shit PGMOL? Fucking
I mean,
corrupt set of
I have
fucks
my
who want
complaints.
Liverpool.
I have my complaints about the still even this game, but yes, for
Hey,
the most part,
overall, the standard of refereeing was just outstanding, man. I understand
Champions League is usually better. Yeah,
yeah, I understand Rudiger should have got a card much before. There were a few decisions that went against us, I'd say. But overall, the amount of balls it takes to say, I will overturn my penalty decision to Real Madrid at Bernabeu, that dude is packing some heat on his pants, man. Oh my
yeah.
God.
He's never going to referee another Real Madrid game. Just FYI.
Who gives a shit? I'm sure he's fine with it. Hi.
No, I'm just telling you that's how it works.
Man, by the way, we're going to Paris next. You know,
Yes.
we should carry those photographs of Saka showing the quiet symbol,
Shushin.
Declan Rice's goals. We got to go hang it up in the Louvre, dude. We should go
Yeah.
hang it up there.
This is a good tie. I mean, I'm actually it's like as a Barca fan, I want to watch the Inter and Barca game as much as possible, but this is very juicy.
Oh,
This had the similar setup like Liverpool versus PSG, although that underwhelmed quite a bit purely because Liverpool played one of the
very,
worst,
very poor
horrible.
football, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even go there to win it. Even at Paris, they were like happy to just take the game back to
Yeah.
Anfield, and Anfield did nothing anyway. So I hope they'll Arsenal learned their lesson, and Arsenal did show that they didn't come here to just experience it. They
Hey, what was
genuinely
amazing?
showed up. Yeah,
Yeah, what was amazing was none of the five goals that we scored were typical set piece goals. Like, no
sure.
one
Yeah,
could have accounted for Declan Rice's free kicks going in the
couple
way
of
it
free
did.
kicks.
But oh my God, man, dude, how can I forget the biggest praise I can give to anyone? Jakub Piotr Kivior. Oh my God, he has
He went so unnoticed.
that shows
That's
the sign of
beautiful.
a quality defender who did his job, didn't expect anything, silenced Mbappe for 180 minutes. It's
Beautiful.
just poetry in motion, man. That was.
Yeah.
It was so good. Anyway, I think the other thing is also Bellingham might not know as much Spanish as he thought he knew. Because he kept saying remontada, remontada, remontada. I think they meant to say like they'll turn around and go home. Like I don't really think there's going to be a turnaround in the game.
Yeah. No. No.
I feel
Again, so
bad
I
for
kept
Bellingham.
telling you, the same thing. So you can, how many times I have to tell you that I told you so?
That Martinelli goal you said today was just like that was amazing.
I told you because it was coming, because it was Lucas Vasquez over there, and then a tired Valverde who has been running all around the game was there to
Did you
mark this guy.
see?
It's not gonna happen, bro. Yeah.
Did you see that prick Lucas Vasquez after the game? He's like Arsenal
Hmm.
didn't come here to play. They came here to defend. They did nothing in the first half. I'm like,
Are you
neither
freaking
did you,
kidding me?
fucker. Neither did you.
They didn't play football either. Or the both
Exactly.
games. Look at Rudiger and tell me that guy did anything on the field
Yeah,
other than
he
kicking
was.
players.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was not. He came there to rattle us, and it just fell. He fell flat on his face. It was. It just seemed weird the way he was playing. Also,
Best player for Madrid is Courtois, and the scoreline is 5-1. That tells you something.
today he didn't have that many saves apart from the penalty, though. He did. Did
Yeah,
he?
I mean penalty, but Arsenal also didn't have that many attempts going on
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. That's
So
what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying because coming out of the Emirates, this tie could have been over even before they started the
Emirates
leg.
could have been 6-0
Yeah,
easily.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm not saying that, oh, we should count every single high XG shot as a
No,
goal.
no, no.
No, no,
There,
no, no,
there
no.
were quite a few.
Yes, this was Courtois in his some crazy level of element where he saved doubles and triples in the night when any other random keeper would have let them go in. And it could have been 5-0, 6-0 at Emirates. Coming back to
Oh yeah.
Madrid for remontada is never going to happen anyway. But yeah, there was no chance for Madrid to begin with. I wrote some shit down. Okay, so this is
Yeah,
basically
wait.
a
Oh,
roast.
sorry, I have one more thing. I just have one last thing because for me, the man of the match across both of the ties was Declan
Yes,
Rice.
yes,
So,
yeah, sure.
so when life gives you 100 million, buy Declan,
By
not
Declan.
fucking Enzo and Caicedo and Anthony and Chouameni and shit. There we
Also,
go,
not
man.
Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus. Yeah.
They didn't cost 100 million, man.
Combined, yes.
I don't care about combined. Talk to me about single players here. Oh, don't also buy Darwin Nunes.
That's also true. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I had to get my dig
I
in about
believe in
Liverpool.
you, Nunes. I believe in you, Nunes. So I hope you get back
I
into the game.
I just had to get my dig in about Liverpool. Dude, that's all.
Real
What did
Madrid,
you write down?
Real Madrid. Yeah, the kings of Champions League, the 15-time champs, the
Hey,
untouchables.
by the
Yes,
way, if we had gotten more Arsenal versus Real Madrid games, they wouldn't be on 15 Champions League, dude. That is for sure. 4 games you haven't won against us. You scored 1 goal, which we gifted you.
one goal.
Insane.
Yes. Yeah.
360 minutes and you score one gifted goal.
One gifted goal. One like open goal, basically. Open goal with like
Yeah.
the defender completely
Even
fell
that
asleep
he should have
for a
missed.
minute. Yeah.
Even that he should have missed. He slipped and fell, but okay, it went off inside. Okay, cool.
Uh,
I loved it.
like they did think that they were gonna actually go through like in their heart they did believe that okay, Santiago Bernabeu has this magical air to it. Oh, the air is different in Bernabeu. Screw you, bro. Okay,
My God, the
they thought
social
that they were
media.
untouchables. Yeah, they until Arsenal rolled into the town and turned you into a highlight reel for all the wrong reasons. Okay, they got spanked hard. It's like they literally every single one of them can file emotional distress and take the rest of the season off. That's how bad it has
That's
been
true.
for Madrid. We can talk about all the first leg stuff and everything, right? So we've spoken about it enough over the last pod as well. So let's just talk about just the second leg, right? You're supposed to pull off this one of those famous remontadas. Usually, like, the comebacks against all these Bayerns and Atletico Madrids, PSGs, Manchester Cities, and all that stuff, right? They managed a measly 1-2 win with a Vinicius goal, which is a gift, as we just said. Right? Arsenal reminded you who's boss, man. Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, they carved them up like a Sunday roast, and their star-studded front line, the Mbappe, Vinny, and Rodrigo, they look like they were auditioning for this Netflix drama called Where Is My Mojo? That's basically what they were doing.
You know the funny
Fresh
thing
of a.
is,
You what? Yeah.
you have three Brazilians on the pitch. You have Vinicius Junior, you have Rodrigo, and you have Martinelli. If you had to put your money on who would have scored which Brazilian scored the goal today, Martinelli would not be your choice of player.
No.
And
Even
then he ended
Arsenal
up
fans
scoring.
wouldn't have bet on
Oh yeah, for
Martinelli
sure.
to
Yeah,
score.
for sure.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
this
so I'm
guy,
saying he was the one who
Mbappe.
scored.
Yeah, Mbappe, fresh off a red card. Probably he just thought that he's just going to sprint far past all the Arsenal defenders.
Yeah.
And they had them in their in their pocket, and they had them in their pocket so deep. He's still checking for lint.
He didn't
And
have
then
to be fair to give credit to Arsenal. He didn't have space behind him at all.
no,
Like
you
he
don't make
absolutely
that
had no space.
excuse, man. You can't make that
No,
excuse.
no, I'm
You are,
saying if
yeah.
that was the thought process, which you had one opportunity to do in the first leg, you had zero opportunity here because we were so structured. You were
Yeah.
not going to be able to make any runs anywhere. So you were trying to
Structure,
do this from the left, and you were
that's the
failing.
keyword. That's basically the
Exactly.
keyword.
Yeah.
I have not seen Madrid structured in the entire season. I've seen every single game of theirs. They don't have it. They just don't have it. Anyway, let's talk about Kylian Mbappe. The guy who's supposed to be the second coming of Ronaldo. He was out there missing chances left, right, center. And Martinelli showed how to round the keeper when you are on one-on-one. And mind you, he rounded Courtois. He
Yeah,
he put
dude.
it across against Courtois, not Raya.
I
You had
know.
Ray in front of the goal, and you couldn't do it with one when you had one-on-one at Emirates. Anyway, this guy 8 knockout games against English games. This one is like, and he's got a highlight reel for sure. Yes, against English teams he did have it,
Yeah.
but too bad. It's always been at Bernabeu and never at anywhere else, especially not at Emirates. That's for sure. He ghosted harder than a Tinder date. That's how it was.
I
This
think half the team did, to be very fair. Like
pretty much
no
yes.
one.
Yeah, especially the front line. Yes.
Actually, trying to think of one player who had a decent game from the Madrid side. I can't think of anyone up. Even Courtois
Courtois.
didn't have much to do. He didn't
I
have
mean,
much to do
sure,
today.
yeah, fair enough. Yes, I mean, I could give credit to
Well,
Jude and
Valverde a little bit.
Valverde, but
Valverde and Jude, yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
But again, like Jude Bellingham, I felt like he was running like a headless chicken. He was just so much energy that he was trying to do everything by himself. Poor guy. Like I genuinely felt bad for him. I'm like, dude, you can't be on all sides of the pitch at all points in time. You'll die. But
that's true. Yeah, I
and
mean,
towards
Vinny
the end, his
Vinny had what? Vinny had like 49 Champions League goal involvements till now, and until he met Arsenal, I guess. So he still got one goal. So good for him for that stat. But it's okay. And
it's
then Jude,
useless.
bro, Jude's interviews and the press conference, like it's a night made for Real Madrid. Sounded like
Yeah, to
he
say
was
that.
reading off of a script from Mission
Yeah, of
Impossible.
course.
The mission was just surviving Arsenal press. Spoiler, he didn't.
Yeah,
It did not happen. Yeah. And
it
then,
it I also, to be very honest, right, like yes, they did attack a lot in the first half and stuff, but then I think Avinash was saying that in our chat, right? They weren't playing as a team. Each bugger was trying to
no.
play for himself. And secondly, I felt like Arsenal players felt like they needed this more than Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at any long ball that came in, Arsenal players were jumping higher than the Madrid players. They were going in for the second balls much more aggressively. Felt like
Even
overall we felt like it felt like we were playing at home somehow.
We were watching it, and Saka and Martinelli were defending so well.
Oh,
They were
Martinelli is.
tracking back, trying to cover every single gap. There is, to begin with, there were none in the Arsenal
Hmm.
defense anyway. But whatever the thing you see, you find out towards the wing, Saka was there to cover up if Timber was in trouble, or
Yep.
Martinelli was there to cover up for the other side of it. So it was beautiful to watch. Like, it's not about bus park, but it's about that the tactical awareness of where to be and how to stop a specific counter or an attack. It's been beautiful. And then we come to the other side of it, right? The Carlo like tactics, master tactician, the eyebrow wizard, however you want to put it. You said that this guy said that what quality, commitment, experience, and fans. That's like the thing. He needed it to turn it around. The only thing that turned around was the narrative that Real Madrid are untouchable. That's basically what happened. Arsenal
Yeah.
press had their midfield so in the pocket and rattled. It looked like they
Yeah.
were playing hot potato with the ball, bro. So they were not able to touch like two touches properly. They were just kicking
Yeah.
it around and then losing it out. That's all. And MLS, you should give 100% credit for everything that happened in the midfield for Arsenal.
Yep.
He was
100%.
absolutely beautiful. Not only he covered everything on the wing, and he was there in the midfield every time they were in the trouble and the transition was going on.
Oh,
Absolutely
100%, dude.
beautiful.
He
It
was
was,
he
yeah,
was outstanding. And that all for you to end up thinking that, you know, this guy is just 18 years old. See, what
yes,
what what baffles me is we've bought like four left backs. We have like four left backs in the team. And an 18-year-old from your academy is absolutely killing it. And he's showing his versatility by going and playing in another position, making sure that you're covering and adding another man, strengthening your midfield when you need to, getting out of tight presses. I don't think that's normal for 18 years old, dude. Like
yep,
you can be the greatest footballer in the
pretty
world,
much.
but at some point the occasion gets to you.
Yep,
I don't know how this guy kept his sane head.
beautiful. I would like to watch this guy play more and more, especially in this hybrid uh,
Hmm.
wing back to midfield role. It's nice. It's beautiful to see that. And then some comments on the Bernabeu, the magical fortress, where you won 18 out of 23, I believe, the last Champions League games.
Oh wow, okay.
It was as magical as a flat soda. Arsenal strolled in basically unfazed. Like they just didn't think twice
Yeah.
before, like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get a win, big deal. Like this is the same thing which I felt when PSG rolled into Anfield. There was nothing from Anfield, there was nothing from Bernabeu. Yes, you can say that the crowd was there, but you were not feeding off of it. The players were not feeding off of it, nor the Ancelotti trying to do any tactics that's going to feed off of this specific crowd, giving them any energy. It was
Think
flat.
I don't think the crowd drives the energy. I think you need the team to do things for them to feed off of the additional energy the crowd gives. But across Liverpool
100%.
and Real Madrid, I don't think the players did enough to get those. Like if you see like the days of Steven Gerrard and all, right? The guy used to do so much on the pitch that the fans themselves got excited. Here, after like 60, 70 minutes, Arsenal fans are singing. Real
Yeah.
Madrid fans are just
Dude,
silent.
it looked like a Tuesday night training exercise for Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's all
After a
that
certain
was.
point, yeah.
Arsenal could have played another one leg right after this game and could have happily managed it. That's how it has
Could
been.
be.
Yeah, they were like they didn't run as much as Arsenal people, but they looked more tired. I think there is a stat that across both legs, Arsenal players ran 21 kilometers
Oh wow, okay.
more than Real Madrid players. And especially in the second leg, 8 kilometers. Imagine that you're
This kind
chasing
of makes
game and
sense.
you run less than the other team. That's embarrassing. You're not doing
Yeah.
anything in that case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they needed a historic comeback, like almost a miracle, remontada for the ages. Instead, they delivered a performance so limp, it made their La Liga loss against Valencia look like a warm up at this point. Is
They
and
are
few
genuinely at
kickers
a
for
risk of going
yes.
trophyless right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's basically what I feel like it's gonna happen. With this, they're gonna roll into the Copa
CDR.
del Rey. I honestly don't believe Barca can lose to this team, this specific team that showed up here in the biggest occasion. El Clasico again, as we spoke last time, they remain in their own universe. Anything can happen, but I believe Barcelona to easily get the win against this Madrid. If it is not easily, just get the win. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I would assume that too.
Yeah, Arsenal hasn't reached this stage since 2009.
9. Yeah, I know.
They're still chasing their first ever Champions League trophy. Meanwhile, Real Madrid are the defending champions. They got outclassed, outfought, outcoached with a team that's missing the prime star CB in Gabriel, the
Mm-hmm.
team which has no striker, and they are using a false nine system with Merino as a makeshift striker, and then you had kids running the show. This is like basically
It was
this is
special.
as bad. Yeah, it's as bad a beatdown a Real Madrid could have gotten in this situation. But I was there for both the legs. This has been the most successful hate watch in my lifetime, and
You're
I love
welcome.
you, Arsenal. I love you. Whether Barca comes through or not, I will support you and go get that snake Dembele out of the competition after this. My 100% positive vibes are with you and with you alone. Yeah.
Actually think now I'm a lot more confident after today's display that I think we potentially could do well against PSG. I don't know if we'll win or anything, but that I think is still a little too close to call. But I think we are well positioned to take on PSG over two legs. We've beaten them once before, but it's a different PSG. I know you mentioned it's a different PSG and they're not the same, but even with that, right? Given our solidity in defense and given that PSG can be porous at their back, I think we can do it, man. Over two legs for sure.
Yeah, I mean, PSG, I don't know what to expect out of them because the way they showed up at Paris against Aston Villa and their showcase at Villa Park
It was two
was
different teams.
diametrically opposite.
Yeah,
I think this is what happened. They were like cruising at 5-1
one.
at one point,
Yep.
right? 5-1. And then what were you doing? You don't need to go and attack more. You don't need your fullbacks blowing through your, like, the wing backs.
Mm.
You don't need anything.
Yep.
You all you need is just make sure that you have a structure. And Aston Villa, as it is, they don't have as much firepower as you have.
Hmm.
So settle down, just relax, and take like that basic structure, and don't let stupid mistakes cost you a goal. That's all you had to do at 5-1. They just kept going on and on, and then letting the ball slip away, and then getting corners or set pieces. And it's just Rashford, of course, you need to give credit to Rashford in that
Oh,
case, but
he had a good
yes.
game, man. He had a damn good game.
Beautiful. This is I don't know what what Manchester United had done to this kid, but what
This is
Unai
what
is doing with him
yeah.
is absolutely special. It's not like just one-off game, by the way. He has been
He's
amazing
been
ever since
pretty
he stepped into
consistent for
Villa.
them. I
Yeah,
completely agree. I think
yeah,
he does even Asensio, right? Like outside of
yep.
PSG, he's actually been pretty brilliant. And
There's another stat, by the way. Asensio has scored more goals for Villa
Villa, then he has done for
in
two
this
years.
this time.
Yeah, I know.
2 years at PSG. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
crazy. Yeah.
That's weird, man. But again, honestly, if you think about it, right, I think Villa should have actually had the victory yesterday because I think
Mhm.
that Morgan header should have gone in. Asensio, if he had to place it in, I know he was offside,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but still,
No, but
that
there
tight
was another
could have.
volley. Yeah, there was another volley that was barely saved.
Mm.
I think somebody was there
Donnarumma had a
I
great
think.
game.
Oh my God, bro!
He
This
had
guy
a
is
Courtois type
showing up
game.
at the right time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that he's had his good game. You're not going to get the same type of reflexes from Donnarumma all the time. So I'm glad
Sure.
he's
Yeah.
had a good game, and I'm glad Saliba's done with his shit mistake for the year now for in a meaningless goal.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
the other thing also, right? Like if you look at PSG's goals against Villa yesterday, it came from both the fullbacks, not from their attack. Hakimi and Nuno Mendes. Not Nuno
That's
Mendes, what
how.
Mendes.
I mean, I'm not that surprised from PSG anyway.
No,
So
what
I
I meant to
mean,
say is we can cover that off, and I know and I do believe that Arteta is a better manager than Unai Emery to handle PSG. So it'll be interesting. But now actually coming to the big thing is what the fuck are you guys going to do against Inter, man?
let's talk about the 3-1 loss for Barca. So if
Mm.
I had to pick a game to be losing for Barca, this is
This was the
probably it.
game, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I was telling you after the 4-0 win as well, saying that fourth goal is critical for our
Yeah.
PTSD. So, believe it or
But
not,
Borussia played so well.
so well. Yes,
So well.
absolutely. 2019, Dembele had the chance to tap it in to make it 4-0 against Liverpool at Camp Nou. He hits
Mm.
it straight at Allison, like a fluffed shot, not even a strong shot, a fluffed shot.
Mm.
Fast forward, like, a week later, like, it could have been a completely different result, like for
Yep.
4-0 up and everything, right? So we wanted that. Lamine Yamal, he made that fourth goal happen one way or the other. He didn't fluff. He didn't lose his cool. As composed as he could get, and 4-0 is happy. This is precisely what I wanted. And then you go back there. I think Flick had underestimated what could happen, what could come from Dortmund to begin
Borussia, yeah.
with. Dortmund had rested a good number of players against their Bayern game because they knew that league was not happening anyway, but they still got the draw against that
I
Bayern
guess,
team.
yeah, in
Yeah.
Interclasse, yeah.
Yeah, and this one was they never let Barca breathe. And oddly, every single player had bad first touches, bad passes going on. Every player in the on the field until Pedri stepped in. The Pedri effect is it's immediately
So
visible out there.
calming, so calming.
It makes me feel like okay, I'm good now. I'm
It's
good now. I don't have to
almost
worry so much. Yes, yes,
Busquets-esque, where you like just slow down the tempo of the game, keep control of the ball in tight
exactly.
spaces, make sure you pass it to your own team.
Yep.
Pedri is a special fucking player, dude.
So
I
good,
don't
bro.
know how
And
the hell you have so many special players in your team at the same time.
yes,
Kubarsi,
it's coming
Amal,
together. It's
Pedri.
coming together.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's fucking like that 2008, 2009 batch that came out, man. It's
Yes,
annoying.
yes. It's coming back to the same route
Yeah,
where a bunch of La
yeah,
Masia kids that are
yeah.
having a ball. I think the Flick went into this game with the not so usual thing where he's like, okay, let's not attack. Let's not go too overboard and unnecessarily give them chances or like because we play with high line, so you get chances. Dortmund did get
Yep.
chances even in the first leg, right? So, but that was a mistake. What Flick should have done, if you were going to go back into this, okay, I'm not going to do this, rest Yamal. You didn't
Mm.
need to keep him on the field anyway. If you do think you needed to go have that creativity going on, then do it. So even Yamal was trying to calm people down, saying that let's not go any crazy attack right now, let's just calm down. Like, no, that's not how you play anyway. You are a 17-year-old coach who takes pleasure in just taking defenders on. You do that. Don't unnecessarily change too much of tactic where it's not natural at the biggest stage. It's not going to work out for you. So Frankie had a very difficult game, and even Araujo, he made couple of very good tackles,
Mm-hmm.
but our goal stopping tackles like cross
Yep.
blocks and
Cross
even
blocks.
pretty
Yeah.
good defending technique. But that dude has no cool inside the box. It's very, very difficult to keep him very calm. So he in against PSG last season, they scored the exact same goal. Ball gets kicked into Araujo. Araujo, instead of clearing completely away, he
Mm-hmm.
passes it to something. He passes it in some direction. It's just a tap to in some direction. It goes to PSG player, and Dembele scores this bullet of a shot, and he scores the goal
Mm.
for PSG, and that's over basically for Barca.
Mm.
Same thing happened this time around. It was done. It came to him. He could have just cleared it, but he weirdly just gives a weird pass, and that goes straight to that fellow, and he scores it. So Araujo did not have that great a game, but he did do okay. But if Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez are fit, there is no way Araujo is starting unless this is like, okay, it's a simple game. We don't need to worry about too much, like this crazy comeback and all that stuff. He can manage the game and only provide as a rotation option for Barca. He's not the starting center back at this point. And the lack of width pace, like lack of wing pace, because Balde got injured and he'll be
Mm-hmm.
out for like 3 weeks now. So that's a
Yep.
big issue for us. Gerard Martin, honestly, is one of the better players on the pitch the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that one goal, that was the third goal, he was flawless. He was
Yep.
very good in the midfield. He was trying to adapt to the high line. He played an excellent game. And ever since Pedri came, things were pretty calm. Even at 2-1, Pedri comes in, chill. Don't worry too much. Pedri was passing the ball side to side, no issues whatsoever. And that, except for that one attack where Gerard Martin got beat, and then
Mm.
they scored the goal. Then suddenly this PTSD kicked in again, but it was too late at that point. So I was
Yeah,
I was okay.
They went out to an own goal, which was kind of unfortunate.
Yes.
But if
Yeah.
that goal hadn't gone in, the
Yeah.
story could have been different. One goal
100%. Yeah.
difference, it could have made it. The story would have been different.
Yep. Yep.
But I missed 100% of the Inter Bayern match, so I have less than no idea what happened apart from the goals.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I
like
caught
we
up
predicted.
pretty much most of
Okay,
it. Yeah.
okay.
It's I think after watching the kind of like extended highlights of that game, dude, Bayern created so many chances, and I suddenly feel like Inter are actually beatable.
Hmm.
Bayern had so many chances, so many chances. The XG was, of course, higher for Bayern because they had to go get the win this time
Yeah.
around. But even the first leg, right? So I think Thuram and Lautaro Martinez partnership, along with Dimarco on the wing, it's working out for them. But both of their goals came from set pieces today for Inter.
It's fine.
It's
That
good,
just
but
shows that they can score from everywhere.
sure, that's the thing. So, and Barca's, I think, in my opinion, their biggest weakness is set pieces. So
Hmm.
this is going to be a dogfight, and we have a bone to pick with them anyway. Because last time around when we went to Europa League, that was purely because 100 different blunders on the referee, where he didn't call a handball, and he takes a goal away because while calling a handball, you could see this Simeone Inzaghi sitting right next to us, giving us the eye, saying that okay, I'm sorry, I got away with it. Yeah, yeah. But this time around, I am more confident that we can beat, but this is going to be one hell of a game. If Barca beats Inter, I think they're going to win the Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah, well, wait for it. I'll
Yeah,
wait for
I
it.
mean, I'm confident. I will be very, very confident if we beat Inter. It doesn't matter PSG or Arsenal. I'm sure that we can go get the win.
Hmm.
It is difficult to
But
beat
I,
Inter in a final
yeah.
than over 2 legs.
It completely depends, dude. Like, where's the first leg? Is it happening at the Camp Nou or is it happening at San Siro?
First leg is at Camp Nou. Yeah,
Okay, so I fully expect them
part of the bus.
complete defensive masterclass. Try to hit on the counter, try to score a goal, or concede as less as possible. Go back to San Siro, and then I think they will get the job. I somehow feel like they will get the job done because I don't think I've seen a defensive unit like that, dude. I
Yeah,
understand Bayern had a lot of chances, even the first leg and all that, but oh my God, do they know? How do they know exactly where to be? How do they know exactly how to stop a pass? That team is being coached extremely well. Inzaghi is doing a
yeah.
great job,
Yeah, the reason why I'm confident about Barca is that Bayern just got the chances and they were super inefficient. But
which is
there is
fine. Yeah.
there is one team who is clinical, that's Barca.
Hmm.
Between these three, they don't miss too many chances. Like they had that slump in the middle, but these three have
We'll
been
have to
super
see. Yeah,
efficient
it's
when it
good.
comes to that. Yeah.
I don't think there's a bad match among the semifinals right now.
Yes.
It's just extremely exciting. What
Four
pisses me
different
off is I'm
teams
going to
from
miss.
four different leagues,
Yeah, and I'm pissed
beautifully
off
set
that
up.
I'll miss the first leg. I am
Yeah.
so
I
mad
think
right now.
yeah.
It's
I'll
just
try. I'll try to make sure that I catch something, but it's going to be difficult for me anyway. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm super
fine.
excited for the rest of them. Uh,
Excited, dude. This has been one. This Champions League format has thrown so many surprises, and I love it. I know initially I was very skeptical and all that,
no,
but
but
my
I think I
God,
saw Jamie Carragher point out saying that the top four among the top four, the three teams made it to
three
semis.
teams. Yeah,
Yeah,
three teams,
that's
one
a
PSG.
vindication. Yeah, that's a vindication for this format actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
PSG. I mean, I think you can make a case for PSG because they were not the same team in the beginning of the season versus right now. If
still.
they played that leg, all the games, whatever they have missed out on back then, now I'm sure they'll probably win nearly 7 or 8 out of 8.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure, for sure. Maybe seven because they Arsenal beat them, and I don't expect I wouldn't like that day we were just on a different scale. So
that's
fine, I'll
true.
give it
Yeah.
a seven. But yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think is going to actually happen?
My bet is Arsenal will go through. I don't have any doubt
Wow. Okay.
about Arsenal. I mean, it's not. I'm not writing off of the latest result. I've seen what PSG weak point is
Hmm.
against the Aston Villa game. I think it was almost getting to them at the
Hmm.
stage, and
Could be.
there
Yeah,
is
could be.
yeah, there's one guy who is still in there dealing with this PTSD. That's Marquinhos. So until probably that guy leaves, I don't think they'll have this. But this is the PSG. The second leg against Aston Villa was the PSG who I've known and loved.
Yeah.
Choking at the biggest moment, they could have gone out. Like even if it was just one goal and it becomes 5-5, I am positive that
Oh yeah.
Emiliano Martinez would have saved them at the penalties.
I know. I think if Villa had bought in Watkins a little earlier in the game, I think
Sure,
it
yeah.
would have happened. But again, anyway, it's fine.
And
It
I
is
don't
what
know
it is.
why he subbed Rashford off. He was playing fine. I don't think he looked tired. He didn't need to go off like that early, like 70 minutes or something like that. He was subbed off.
Maybe it was just a change of attack approach, right? Like this guy is just
Or
full pace, trying to get things done, but Watkins is like a fox in the box type, go come in, score. So
I
I
sure
think,
hope he didn't do that for Premier League top four fight because he's playing City next.
yeah, I think the
Yeah.
Premier League top four is done, dude, with Newcastle today winning. They're third now, just
No, no,
4 points
no.
behind Arsenal.
Remember that Newcastle has like one of the toughest runs going into the end of the season,
Yeah, fair.
and it's very difficult. Again, Nottingham
They're
Forest
hitting
looks
good
like they're
form, dude,
losing
right
out.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Now I
Sure,
genuinely
sure,
feel
sure.
scared about Nottingham Forest losing out. It'll be a tragedy given how good they've been this season.
100%. If they lose
Yeah.
out, probably get Isaac. Yeah.
If they lose, no, why? Newcastle will be in the top four then.
No, no, no. If Newcastle loses out, yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind like Arsenal beating Inter in the finals and then Lautaro Martinez gets so overwhelmed that he wants to join us and then we go bid for him. I would take that. But he's a little old, so maybe no. I don't know.
Not just that. I don't think he fits the Arsenal profile anyway.
Dude, that
Yeah.
guy can score from any touch, dude. What is this?
No, he's basically another Suarez in the making, man. So he will
Yeah.
have this time right now. The minute his knees start to become a little bit more loaded, I think it's over for him. I give him maximum 2 or 3 seasons at
Yeah,
this
that's
point,
good
unless
enough,
he
dude.
shapes up quite a bit. Yeah. No, no, no. I'm just saying that when you have an Isaac and Lautaro Martinez, and both of them will probably cost similar amount of money if Newcastle doesn't make it to the Champions League,
I
like
don't
70 to 100
pay the
million. Yeah.
English tax, dude. You have to pay the English league tax with Isak, which is another thing. But with the Italian clubs, you throw a little bit of money, they're happy to let go of people, I
And
think.
Inter is not that well off in the financial
Exactly my
situation
point. Yeah,
anyway. Yeah.
exactly my point. So Newcastle can do with saying no to like 75 million. I don't think Inter Milan can say no to 75, $80 million or pounds or
But
whatever,
that guy
right?
is adored at Inter Milan, man. So he's the star.
We've seen
He's the
crazier things
guy.
happen. We've
I'm
seen
sure,
crazier
like
things
yeah,
happen.
Van
So
Persie left for
yeah,
United
exactly.
and all that stuff.
But I
So
understand Van Persie
yeah,
leaving. That's not the same because Inter Milan are at least doing well.
yeah, they will win the Scudetto this time. So it's totally. I mean, he has things to do, things to look forward to in Inter team. However bad their financial situation is, but they still make it happen somehow.
No, but
Even with
it
Ian
also comes
Sommer.
down to no, even if it comes down to, I think a personal wage packet, Arsenal can offer him better terms than Inter Milan can.
Sure,
Um,
yeah,
the
yeah.
like the ability. I mean,
In all
Milan.
odds, they might be. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, living in Milan is obviously an attraction, but so is living in London for these guys. The only thing that could
Mm.
potentially say that could be a deterrent is the language. He knows Italian, he's Argentinian. I don't know,
Mm.
man. I honestly don't know, but he could potentially come because Mikel Arteta will speak to him in Spanish and be like, "Hey, you come, whatever."
Yeah.
But I adore that player, dude. He's
Yep.
freaking amazing.
It's good, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, he doesn't usually show up for Argentina as much as we want him to,
yeah.
but I would love both
Wasn't he the top scorer
Julian
in the Copa America
Copa.
last time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because every single game he came off as a sub. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. He still scored, no?
Yeah, yeah, but still, yeah, he the dude has the golden touch. Like whenever
Hmm.
he gets it, but whenever he starts the game for Argentina, he doesn't do that well.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
same
understandable.
thing with Trossard. It's a weird thing that goes on anyway. But
Oh.
I think he's in his prime form, and if Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez go into the next year with the World Cup year looming over into this form, my
Mm.
God,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Argentina do
gonna look
look
very
like a
good.
freaking amazing squad.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, good week, dude. What a week this
yeah.
has been. I am so happy now. Who gives a shit? Like, just give Liverpool that stupid title so that we get done with this. So that we put all our eggs in this basket and win this damn thing, man. It's been a
So
long, long time.
Tuesday is Arsenal, right? Tuesday is Arsenal,
Mm.
Wednesday is Barca. Yeah, April 29th. What are the fixtures for Arsenal before and after? Anything that you need to be worried about?
Nah, dude, we're playing Ipswich next, and after that, I think we are playing
Crystal
some
Palace.
Crystal Palace. So we're
Easy peasy.
fine.
So I think it'll be fine. I think you can even probably rest people for Crystal Palace game, half the game once you wrap the game up. But I don't think you need to focus on anything in the Premier League anyway at this point.
We need to make
Your
sure we
top
still
four
come in the
spot is
top three.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I actually don't know. We're only
no,
4 points
it's fine.
behind Newcastle. But again, like you said,
And you have
Newcastle
a
are
head to
tough.
head with Newcastle. Oh, okay.
That's
Okay,
why.
okay,
That's the other
okay.
thing. And by the way, Newcastle's run of form is just absolutely insane. They won the last 5 or 6 matches in a
Yeah,
row.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. It's getting a little too close for comfort. So I'd be like, okay, but just chill. Just take it one game at a time.
Okay. Before we wrap up, I want to spend the last 12 minutes on Manchester United.
Okay, what happened to them?
That team is sitting 3 points from relegation zone. I mean, 3 points from the 17th place.
Okay,
And in all realistic scenario, they could be 17th if one game goes like, not their way.
okay.
So what are you looking forward to from this guy, from this fancy Ruben Amorim? What is the
I
state of this shit?
That guy can fall under a bridge for all I care. Like, what do I care about him, dude?
I'm
That
not saying you
see,
care
I
about
don't
that.
honestly, right? Like, you take any manager with that squad right now is going to give you the same result.
No, I sincerely disagree. I
Not the
sincerely
same
disagree.
result, but I don't think it's going to improve. Let me change that. You're not going to get in someone in the middle of the season with the players being as demotivated as they are. Let's say they had gotten in a parallel universe if they'd gotten Klopp, right? Someone
No,
at the
no, you
caliber
don't.
of Klopp or someone, right? I don't think the results would have changed drastically, dude. These set of players don't want to play for that club. They're there for the money. They're there for the big price tag. Like if you see every United game, it's just so lackluster. It's like, it's almost like I don't want to be here. I don't know what I'm doing here types. Like, how the fuck is Mikel Merino got more goals than both Xerxes and Hoyland, man? Like, what the hell is that?
Zerg is injured, by the way, right now in the last
That
game
one game he
against
was doing
Newcastle. Yeah,
something in that pitch, that
something.
also is
Yeah.
gone. But I'm saying, like, how bad do you have to be? Diego Dallo is just horrendous. Like, I just don't understand how he became a professional footballer. He's been that bad.
So you do not put any blame on the manager for not riling up the squad to play for the bag.
I'm not saying he's absolved of the blame. I'm just saying the only thing I can think of is put anyone there, they would have struggled. Maybe not at the
I
same level, but they would have struggled.
No, bro. So when Eric Ten Hag left, I think they were at the 10th position or something, 8th to 10th, somewhere like that.
They
Like
also
between
had an
depending on the
easy
game
start to
week.
this. They had a much easier start to the season, dude.
You play who you have in front of you. That's all. It
That's
doesn't
fine. That's
matter.
a
So
fair.
right. So and he did come into the situation with like a very difficult run of fixtures, like we spoke about that time. Right. So that's precisely the reason why I did not have hope for this guy. And if he showed me that you could go through those tough fixtures, getting something, I would have believed in him saying that, okay, yeah, this guy has something in him. So all he needs is like, slowly getting the players together and then he'll start making something happen. I don't think this would be the same set of results even if you had what's the Bournemouth's coach name? Anyway, the Bournemouth's coach, Eddie Howe, this guy, David Moyes even. I'm fairly certain that Sean Dyche could have gotten them at least to the 13th or 15th or even like, 10th position.
Honestly, man, what difference does it make? You're not going to get relegated. How does it matter whether you come 15th or 13th or 17th? It just makes no difference.
No, it makes a difference because what exactly are you going towards? Are you really saying that I need another, not just 11, by the way, not just
Oh,
11.
he needs a
If you get
26, man. He needs 26
exactly,
players. Yeah.
you're looking at, so are you better off getting a manager who can work with the team which you have, or are you going to buy $500 million on a conservative basis, $500 million worth of a squad, which may or may not actually get results in the future because who knows where he's gonna pull these players from.
I don't know. Maybe again, not my circus, not my monkeys. So what I'm going to say is maybe give him a window, see what happens. If it still sucks, you're going to have to bring in someone who knows how to deal with players, who knows how to get the best of any set of players he's given. It's just that for that club at this point. I think
You
the
don't think a
players.
Thomas Frank who has done this stuff with Brentford couldn't have done anything with this team with
I mean, it's
Manchester
it's
United?
hypothetical, dude. It's at this point we're talking hyperbolic stuff right now. If he came, would it have been
No,
different?
my point is that how are people still sticking by this guy,
So
by
it's
Ruben Amorim?
I don't
How
think
do they not see it?
I don't think it's a problem where people are blind towards the ineptitude of the manager. I think it's come down to a point for two reasons. From Manchester United side, they can't fire him because it just looks too much like a revolving door situation. And it's going to financially cost them a lot of money to get rid of this guy. And secondly, from a fan's perspective or even from the old players' perspective, right? It's come down to a point where they're just tired of experimenting in, doing this fast gun, fast trigger approach where you keep firing managers for no reason and then seeing what's happening. What they are saying is try the other way around. Get rid of the squad, get rid of the bad players in the squad and see if something happens. If it doesn't happen, then fine. Then you know where the problem is. Right now
Okay,
you
so
keep
you're saying that instead of actually, but they're doing the same thing as Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag came, he pissed off a bunch of players, he sold some players, and he
fair
never
enough.
started some people. He went to send them on loan and
Fair
all that
enough.
stuff, and he brought his own players for how much ever money he had to spend.
That is the only thing
Yeah.
I'll say should be different. You cannot have the manager say, I want to bring this player, that player, and say that's the end of the day, right? Like you need to have a committee there that sits down and understands how this player fits into the team, how this player actually does anything for the club, and then bring him there. For example, take how Liverpool did, how Jurgen Klopp wanted to bring in Julian Brandt, the CEO and the sporting director at Liverpool, sat down with him and convinced him that Salah was a better player for him. And look at how that turned out for them, right? So I'm saying
Okay.
you need a structure that basically can say no to a manager and not let him have whatever decision he wants.
Then why are you making decisions as if you have the structure? You don't have
That's
the
the
structure.
problem.
So Ruben Amorim is not a Manchester United coach with this current squad. I do not rate him very heavily anyway, but I do not think he's your solution. He's your messiah.
He's not. but you need someone that can stabilize the ship. You
He's
had
not the stabilizer. That's what I'm saying. He's neither the
you are not
stabilizer.
going to he's not going to win you titles, that's for sure. He's not going to have a team that will fight towards the deep end of the season for anything useful. But is he going to take you one step at a time better? Is what I think he potentially could do.
When does that step?
It
What
has
is
to
the
happen
measurement
next
of this
season,
step?
dude. It has to happen next season.
So you're gonna give him the entire season,
You'll
and
have to,
you're
man.
gonna
You
you're
can't.
gonna you're gonna watch him probably finish in the 17th position, and you're gonna still say that, oh, it's not the manager's fault. Let's give him another
Okay,
$200 million war chest.
let me play devil's advocate, right? Let's say we remove Ruben Amorim.
Yeah.
Let's say we listen and remove Ruben Amorim. Who on earth are you going to get?
Get a mediocre manager who is not your messiah.
Who?
Anybody, whoever is out there who's not this stubborn. Think about the managers like David Moyes or Thomas Frank. There are certain managers who do not require like, okay, I need these players. No, I have these. Okay, let me see what I can come up with so that we get results. That's all you
Fair
need to
enough.
look for. Then put a sporting director in charge. So manager is not dealing with who I want. Manager is dealing with what he
That
has.
is what I was
And
saying
then
before.
slowly make sure that you either sell people off or like have some kind of a scouting profile where okay, these are the players who we like and let's go get these things, and these players are going to help Manchester United. And after a certain point, you know that you have surpassed that manager's levels. Like for example, Xavi was good for Barca in stabilizing it. He did very, very well. All he needed to do was make sure that the defense was tight. We got the La Liga purely based on defenses, like 1-0 wins. We were there. But Xavi is not going to do what Flick has done. Xavi is
I
not that
hear you.
manager. He still has to
I
learn.
hear
So
you.
that there is that step in the middle where, yes, there is an intermediate manager who's going to stabilize it. It comes at a very bad situation. He's going to make sure that things are stable. Then we can think forward, like outside the damage control stuff. There's missing that step right now.
The problem, I'm saying the problem, you and I are sort of saying the same thing. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because what I'm telling you is remove Ruben Amorim as an entity. The problem
Okay.
is at Manchester United, the board has been so inept over the last few years that if a manager comes in and says, I want this guy, right? Their scouting staff is almost non-existent. Their transfer
So
negotiation team is it's
there,
just
there's
pathetic.
their scouting staff is Mark Goldbridge and
At,
other
at that
fans.
point is
That's
that
all.
it's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
that guy and whoever Chelsea, Arsenal, and City want. And at some level,
Outsource.
yeah, they've outsourced all this. And then at the end of the day, you have a transfer team that basically cannot negotiate for shit. Like
Yeah.
no one in the world should get scammed the way these guys got scammed for Hoyland and Anthony, dude. Like it
100%.
just makes no sense. The
Yeah.
problem, what they've done with this sort of structure is they've gone in saying, "Oh, we are Manchester United. We are the biggest club in the world. We have the most income, whatever revenue streams, whatever, right? Biggest sponsorships and everything." So when they go into negotiate, every club that's looking to sell to them knows that they have deep pockets, and these
Mm.
guys don't do a good job of walking out of that place. If,
Negotiating.
yeah, they don't negotiate. They don't actually hold the upper hand for being such a big club. Otherwise, there's no way Ajax walks away with 100, 150 million for the shit players that they've sold to United. Hoyland, just because he sounds like Haaland, you paid 70 million for him. He's not worth 20 million, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
he's not.
fucking Odegaard on half a leg is better than him.
Yeah.
Merino on,
Ireland,
without legs on a wheelchair is better than him.
there was a highlight. I think everybody's making fun of this. Luke Shaw. I think if you don't know, Luke Shaw just came back from his
Yeah, yeah.
long-term injury. I think third or fourth long-term injury. His hamstrings are basically a 2-year-old hamstrings at this point, freshly born. So he comes onto the pitch, and then there is a counter attack against Newcastle. Luke Shaw basically risked the newborn hamstrings and made that lung-busting run on the left. And this Highland fellow, he
He's
doesn't
coming slowly.
pass. No, he comes. He doesn't pass it to him. He starts shooting some stupid stuff. Like, you could have passed him, and he could have given a nice cross. But the IQ levels of these players is not what it is, and I 100% blame the manager for this thing more than anybody else at this point.
Fine, fair enough. But here again, right, the reason why I keep saying give Amarin some time is he's playing with players that Ten Hag brought in, which this guy may not like. He has so at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim has a certain skill set that has got him to where he is today. Right? He has something that says it's a small core of things that I can do. It is non-transferable to a point where he's able to extract something out of United players that were not bought under his regime. Now, if you have like a decent structure in place above his head, that doesn't give him the same control that Ten Hag got, and bring in decent sized players that he thinks can fit into his system, however stubborn he is with his 3-4-3, I'm saying give him that chance. Don't write him off so quickly to a point where you're just going to do this every 3 months. And I hate United. Like I'd be happy if they like the more they lose, I'm happy. But at some level, it's sad, dude. Like at some level, it's just boring. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
fine. I need some competition. Like let's make this more interesting, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Give him one season because right now I don't think the players are playing for anything. I don't think they care enough. Half of them I don't think expect to be here next season. Like look at fucking Onana comes to the training ground after his howler against Olympic Lyon and then comes with his agent because he found out that if United doesn't qualify for the Champions League, every player takes a 25% cut. And he's like, I didn't agree to it. He signed on the dotted line when he signed for the club. And
I
he's like,
didn't
I
know
don't
this.
agree.
What the hell?
Yeah, he came with his agent and all, dude, to Carrington. And I'm like, if
Dude,
you,
the
being how
balls
bad
on
you
this
are,
guy.
exactly. So that's the sort of filth that Amram is having to deal with right now, which I think he needs to slowly weed out. He needs to get players who trust him, who he can trust, then see what happens. And again, United have way too much money for them to worry about spending another 200 million. Worse, it cannot get worse than this, right? It just genuinely cannot get worse than this. They're good enough to stay in the Premier League. They are not, they cannot do worse than what they're doing right now.
They're lucky they are not in relegation fight because there is no relegation fight here.
Exactly. They
That's
chose a
the only
good
thing
year
that's
to be
happening.
this bad. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. I genuinely think he needs a summer, dude. Like, at least, to be fair, you give him at least that much.
All right, if you guys say so, I feel like he should be fired right now and brought in a better coach with not that much of a turnover and too much of a financial lift.
You
That's the
get, man.
sensible thing to do, but Manchester United doesn't do sensible things, so it's okay. Yeah,
We'll
you're gonna
see.
spend another 500 million with this manager, and he's gonna end up doing nothing
Money
for you.
is
Yeah,
money is not an
yeah.
object in that club, dude. Like honestly, I don't think money is an object in that club. They'll borrow against the owners. Owners will keep screwing them over. This is like one Indian soap opera that just doesn't seem to end. And the more I see this rubbish, the more I actually respect Alex Ferguson for how much he dragged the club through the mud to
True.
get them to be where they were.
Basically, he played everything. He
Period.
played the sporting
For good
director. He
reason.
played the
For
scout and
good
everything.
reason.
Yeah,
For good reason. He knew what he was doing. Unlike these
yeah.
idiots who think they know what they're doing, but they're actually not doing shit.